To give somebody a corner of the world that they feel secure is amazing how much that releases their potential.
Yeah.
To feel accepted, loved, but to be secure.
We have a lot of people say, oh, it's amazing, I don't know how you do it. And I go, well, you know what? It's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. Have a crack at it. And I do. People say it, and I'd love to do it. I go, well, why don't you do it? Have a crack at it and give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But go and do the training and see what you think. And
you'll be hooked.
Yeah,
You'll be
you
hooked
will.
after the first kid.
People go, well, I couldn't do it because I'd get too attached. And I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather get too attached and help that kid than turn my back and never know them. So yeah, single parents and that can do it. Berry Street do put in a lot more supports and that to make sure that they're not overstressed as a single parent. Yeah. It's the same, I know a lot of gay couples and that are starting to foster care now. It's brilliant. And the kids benefit just as much. We've got a gay friend and he's going through the training in that at the moment, and we know he's going to be the best foster dad. And those kids are going to be so lucky, whereas there used to be this perception that you've had to have had a really good life to be a foster carer, but that's so not the case.
I think if you're considering foster care, you're going to change someone's life. You're going to be a big impact on their life, and that's very rewarding. I remember one foster carer standing up and saying to a crowd, to do good things, you don't have to be a perfect person. Most people could foster care.
Don't really have to be a university graduate to become a carer. If you can provide a secure and loving environment, and that you can be a carer.
I think it helped me develop as a person in a big way. And according to my friends, I softened up a bit. I wasn't a hard-nosed banker anymore. So I think it did help me to relate to people better, lose some of that hard edge that I had.
It works around your life so much, I don't think people realise that. Like, you can do full-time care, which we've done quite a few full-time cases where you have them for extended periods of time. But like at the moment, we've cut back and we're just doing respite care, so that's a couple of days here and there. And when we have this baby, we plan on having a couple of months off. And then we'll get back into it, but we'll just do the occasional weekend for a night or two until we build back up till baby's a bit older. And it just constantly adapts to your lifestyle, and I don't think people realise how adaptable foster care is.
Life is busy, for a lot of people. And, that crossed our mind as well. We both work, full-time. I was studying, Audrey's studying. We've got a lot of stuff on as well, but I don't know. We make the time for these kids, and if we don't have the time, we can say we don't have the time this weekend. We can always say no.
But when you go into a caring situation, the first box you've got to tick is to make sure as a couple that you're ready to do it. But then I think it's important to also discuss it with your family.
when they call and say we've got a placement possibility, you do get a background, you get a bit of an understanding of what's going on, and pretty much what we've been told is what we've got. So we haven't gone into anything unknown.
And I think they're very honest in the process of learning what it's going to be about. Berry Street are really honest with how it's going to be and what you might encounter.
For somebody thinking about coming into care, expect to be tested, expect to be challenged.
Sometimes you'll feel as if you're not getting anywhere,
Yeah.
but when you break through, the rewards are there. They're not bad kids, and that they're kids that have just had to deal with difficult issues, and at the end of the day, they're children. One of the things that we found with the children coming out of the environment that they have is that people's words have never been kept. If you say you're going to do something, and that make sure it happens, because they've been let down so many times. If you start off making promises in their life and don't carry through with them, that'll be a real detriment to the sort of relationship that you would want from that person.
It's just rewarding. Like, you see them come in a certain way, and sometimes during the placement you don't recognise the changes that are happening because you're caught up in behaviours and things, and then you look back, when they go home, and you're like, wow, that little boy who came to us who we couldn't touch because he would cringe, and he just left this really vibrant, happy little boy. And you didn't sort of appreciate it till you looked back and remembered, I remember the first day he walked through the door. And he was just this scared, terrified little boy. And there's moments like those when you're like, yeah, okay, where's my next placement? Send us another one.
Every child is absolutely unique, but there are so many similarities. As a child, to lose core parts of who you are or what you could rely on, the grief, it's so deep.
It'd be positive for our kids to see other kids that live differently and have unfortunate circumstances.
That's right, and to teach them to empathy, and rather than
Empathy,
judge people that have different backgrounds and haven't had the same opportunities, how to help them instead of judge them.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really positive for our kids to be brought up with foster children.
It's just like any family you see. Standard families, standard people looking after kids when the kids can't be with their parents.
Every kid that comes and then goes, your family's kind of growing, and when I picture our family, I kind of picture us and then all these kids that we've looked after, so it's really nice.
When you've actually won their trust and the connection has taken place, it's just amazing how you get it invited into their inner self. It's another level that you know you've achieved.